Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Somebody tell me what's going on down in Atlanta. I don't understand. Thugger, who I praise for standing 10 toes down, is now in the interrogation room, and we waiting to hear what he have to say about that. I seen a joint that Zip with the Drip did that was real good. It was so good I had to, hit him up and make moves to get his number and tell him that I like the way he broke it down, because that's what this YouTube is about. It's about showing you different forms of thinking instead of just thinking one way. So now where we going with this is I want to know what Thugger meant. Hold up, man. Let's just start this intro. All right. Audio, Unique Mecca audio, you know what it is. Don't worry about nothing. We got you. All right. What I want to know right now, right? Thug made this post right here, right? He said, since y'all called me a snitch, let's just air it all out. That's understood. Y'all called me a snitch, let's just air it out. Then he goes, we all be taking Mad D in Atlanta. Now, the question is that I have for y'all is when he said that they be taking Mad D down in Atlanta, does he mean physical D? Like they all he cipher, monkey cipher? Or does he mean D as far as working with the people because he began speaking about snitching? Because my mind didn't go towards the he cipher, monkey cipher part. My mind went towards he got to be talking about like we all telling down here because we don't see what happened down there. So you know what I mean. I'm thinking that that's where he's at. But then I'm seeing posts where people is putting up with little baby. I thought that was when I first looked at it. I thought that that was little baby kissing a woman, just looking down. You know, not to throw no shots. I'm just saying when I glanced at it. Until I just went to speak on it, and I noticed that that's Lil Wayne that he's kissing. I heard about the kiss with him and Lil Wayne, but to actually see it, and then now Thug makes a statement like this. Let me just read the whole thing, and then we're going to go through it. Since y'all want to call me a snitch, let's just air it all out. We all be taking Mad D down in Atlanta. I'm talking all your favorite rappers be taking it, and they boys be giving it. They saying that everybody is just a he cipher, monkey cipher. They saying that everybody's just working with those peoples. Somebody put it in the comments. I've been gone 26 years. I'm finally free, as you can see. Somebody explain to me what's going on. Is he talking about physical D, or is he talking about they all getting D'd by, the administration that they're breaking the law that's trying to catch them for breaking the law? I'm a little naive, so y'all got to help me out with this one, right? So he said, I'm talking all your favorite rappers be taking it and they homeboys be giving it. Don't wear no skinnies around baby if you not with it. Hashtag just saying. Then when I saw that, I thought he meant like don't go around little baby if you're not, a stand-up man, if you're not on man time. Cause that's where my mind went, from how I think. My mind didn't process the he cipher, monkey cipher part, but I'm gonna show you something else dealing with that they posted also, because I'm just trying to figure this out. And if you notice, I haven't really been on here because this is getting a little bit too confusing for me. I'm like really confused right now with what's going on YouTube from people helping people to get indictments to get, their comrades locked up, and then, it's just crazy. And then people just making up slander about each other. I mean, I'm just really, I'm falling back so I can understand what's going on. And maybe I need to, because my frame of mind don't seem to be where everyone else's frame of mind is. Because I really thought that when I saw this post that Thug meant that they was all telling down in Atlanta, because he started off with snitching. And then we see this post here. You know what I mean? Since y'all calling me a snitch, right? Let's just expose everything. All your favorite rappers in Atlanta are on it, and their own friends are the ones supplying them. See, right there, I would think they mean some type of drugs like pills or lean or something. That's just where my mind go. And then it goes, a word of advice: don't wear skinny jeans around baby. And then they put in parentheses Birdman, if you aren't prepared. So that's what brings it back to the he cipher, monkey cipher. That's where I get really confused at. And that's why I need y'all to put in the comments what's going on. And it's a sad day when we sit here, and I cheered for Young Thug. Yeah, I say it. I cheered for Young Thug when he was going to trial. Because I want to see any one of us that stand up beat him. But then now there's an interrogation tape with him working with them and asking them not to release it to the world. That hurts my heart. But nothing goes over my head, and I could comprehend different types of people that could deal with different types of pressure. Because you don't know a man until he's under pressure. And that's why my best friends or comrades is the ones that I knew before doing the struggle, that didn't tell, that I didn't tell on, and the ones that I met while I was going through the struggle that didn't tell on their comrade. You know? So this is where I'm at when I'm trying to really just figure out, how did we get here that a man that I cheered for turned out to be in the interrogation room working with the peoples. And then, second of all, now he's coming out saying that allegedly, everyone is he cipher, monkey cipher in the rap game down there in Atlanta. What the hell is going on out there? In the world, I'm saying. I mean, do you know how the world are looking at us right now? We the number one on YouTube right now, and everyone is putting out negative propaganda about somebody, and I can't go down that lane. But I have to speak on the facts of what's going on. And, that's what's sad, that I see a lot of the videos that they putting, and they taking it way to left field, and I mean all the way to left field. But somebody explained to me what this post meant that Thug put up there. I really need to know what this post here meant, because I'm thinking that he's talking about dudes telling, because he's talking about snitching. But he's saying, okay, maybe this is what he said. Maybe he's saying, okay, all right, I snitched. But y'all hiding in the closet. So being that I'm out for snitching, now I'm going to pull y'all out the closet. But if he's telling you that he's telling them, what do you expect but the worst from someone that's going to sit there and go against their comrades with the opposition? Do you know, right? Let's ride. Do you know that that's why I call him Power, right? They asked them, why don't you just put all of those men that you have in prison and that's committing these violence in the military and let them go overseas and fight in the war? If they survive, then they could come back and get their record expunged. And he said, no, never will I send them over to fight. Look at them. They're running in our courtrooms, playing treason and ratting on their own comrades that they grew up with. So if they can't take an oath to their own comrades, how are they going to take an oath to the United States of America? If they get caught on enemy line, God bless us all. You know? So in other words, he said, man, there's no way I'm gonna put them crazy ratting bastards over there to go fight. They're already telling on everybody and they ain't even get no pressure. You know what I mean? So man, if they have to grab him and start pulling off a fingernail, let's say, tell us where the president is at. You know, so Colin Powell, you know, he was a real soldier at war, and that's how he looked at it. But everyone says, oh, the street code is dead, the street code is this. Nah, it ain't about no street code is dead. You know, they're just not following it. They're not playing by the rules. So you have to know who you getting involved with. And that's why I say don't get involved in drugs, don't get involved in gangs, don't get involved in running on the street. So you ain't got to sit here deciphering who is playing by the street code if you're not doing anything on the street. Don't that make sense? I can't say no simpler. Oh yeah, big shout out to my man ER down at DC. You know, when I went down there the other day to see 9 Milli, I got some videos I'm gonna show y'all from down there in the projects, the very projects that they ran up in before they came down there of me taking a tour down there. But my man ER gave me this nice watch when I went down there. Gave me a gift, man. Yo, thank you, ER. You know? But that's how family do. But how could a man sit here and give a man a gift, pay his rent, you know, car note, you know, do everything for him, and then he turns around and he turns that man in even before he got caught? That's a lot of what I'm seeing down in Atlanta, and that's what's sad. These dudes is telling for what they call staying out. Normally dudes go in and then they get weak and then they tell. But these dudes show their weakness from the door and start telling from the police car and the precinct. That's why I say don't get involved in the game, y'all. I'm not trying to diss none of them. Those are their choices. It just shows you what type of men you're dealing with. But that don't mean they can't take a life. Just like they got gangster pimps, gorilla pimps, and player pimps. You know what I mean? You got gangster dudes on the street, you know? You got the murderers on the street, you got all of that. But because they tell, they still do that, but their legacy is wiped out from the street code. But the carnage they caused along the way, it still goes along with it. Because their families are still feeling it. And yes, a lot of them is remorseful now. And alhamdulillah, only God could judge them. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just bringing you the message so you understand that it's not worth it, and you're seeing everything play out in your eyes right here on YouTube. You're seeing everything play out in front of your eyes on YouTube, so there's no way you can sit there and say that you don't understand what's going on, because it is what it is. Life is real. That's why you get into the rap game. You know, you wasn't breaking the law when you got in it. You started rapping about breaking the law to get in it. And then now you get caught up thinking in your mind that you got to break the law, you know, in order to stay in it. No, you already there. It's like playing double dutch. You jumped in a rope. You already there. You ain't got to do nothing else but move to the rhythm. But you don't cause friction. Because then you're going to trip, fall, wind up in prison, and then here you go. Now you want to be in an interrogation room telling on somebody. There's a lot of things going on down there. And like I said, I don't want to say nothing negative about them because that's not what my channel is about. It's just to bring you the real, that it ain't worth it. Don't go down there. Don't get involved in none of that. It ain't worth it. And I'm telling you it ain't worth it. You know, because here it is. I cheered for this man. And then now this video with him in interrogation room, and then now he's ratting on his homies that he's Cypher Monkey Cypher in the closet. What the hell is going on here? For him, how do you feel about Young Thug saying that, you know, we all, you know, he's Cypher Monkey Cypher. I'm gonna pull them all out the closet. Do you think that's ratting? I mean, I see everyone questioning the interrogation tape. But then now he says straight up, well, I'm gonna tell all my friends over here that's in the closet. I mean, I don't agree with none of that over there, but what I'm saying is still, that's like your mama said, you break that lamp. You say, nah, my brother did it. You know what I mean? Or why you break that lamp? Well, my brother also broke the one in the bedroom. I mean, that's where it starts from youth. But back then, I used to get, what are you doing? Stop telling on your brother. You know that's how a lot of us was raised. And then I remember when I was incarcerated and I first heard about a rapper had on a dress. And I said, nah, I don't believe that. No way, yo. You know, I seen the magazine, he had on a skirt with a pair of pants under it. So, you know, me and my macho mind, things like that. I said, oh, all right, it's just a gimmick. He just got the skirt on. I just looked at it for what it is. And then as I looked around on the Google, now that I'm free, remember, free. Now that I'm free, I looked around on the Google. And when I look around on the Google, I'm seeing all these pictures with his hair this way and nails and this and that. And I'm like, and that's why I did this video, because I'm mind boggled, because I didn't see him as none of that. I didn't even know that he went that far, but, you know, to see it now and then come back, I'm like, like, so that post to me, right? That post, that right here, let's get the post back up. That's why this post right here threw me. And that's why we're doing it. Since y'all want to call me a snitch, let's just air it all out then. So, like, let's just tell it all. You know what I mean? Let's just tell it all. Like the best-selling tell-all book. Like I said, I see a dude all the way in England doing videos about this situation and all these situations, and he's calling them. I don't even want to say it on the air. Started with a Arlana. Because I don't want them thinking I'm trying to diss them. I'm just trying to really wake up the babies and use your scenarios to show that everything is not always what it is. And you don't know a man until he's been in the struggle. That's why I said that my comrades has met that when we was in prison together, we was broke together. We had the same beige khaki suit together. We had to spend the same $290 a piece. We had to use the same 300 minutes. We had to get locked in every night at 9 o'clock and doors open at 6 o'clock together. And our families not sending the money when we wanted, and our girl not answering when we wanted to answer, and we bugging in our mind thinking she out screwing or doing something. Then we got to have a homie tap us on the shoulder and said, hold up, dog. If you was out there and your girl was in here doing life plus 20 right now, you trying to tell me you wouldn't get no cootie cat? I said, hell yeah, I get it. He said, all right, well, let's see, fucking let it alone. You know what I mean? And we keep it moving. But those are comrades. You don't tell on people like that. Those are people that help you through your toughest times when you was ready to spaz and get that knife to put it in somebody that you thought cut you on the phone because your girl didn't answer and you think she out screwing. Your man tapped you and said, yo, what would you be doing if you was out there? And that solved the problem. But that's how we come together and work as one. So when I looked at this post, I thought he meant like we all telling down there, because he talked about snitching. Tell me if I'm wrong or I'm just institutionalized. I could take it. You know what I mean? For me to think like that. Because I didn't even think it was none of the deal with this baby kissing Lil Wayne. And I thought they meant like you wearing skinny jeans, meaning if you weak in the knees, pause, I'm just saying weak in the knees and can't deal with the pressure when the police grab you, don't go around little baby, is what I thought it was saying. I had my own thoughts in my mind. I mean, because I had thugs somewhere else. But y'all help me understand what's going on. And because like I said, I don't know nothing about it. I remember when I was locked up, my man introduced, we ride. When I was locked up, my man introduced me to that song, Lifestyle. And we used to play it, right? I was in Coleman, and we had the little MP3 player, so I downloaded the song. And everybody used to walk around the compound saying it and mumbling whatever Young Thug was saying. I didn't even know who it was. But I loved the way it sounded too. The song was fire, he was fire, the kid Rich Homie Quan was fire. And that's all they talked about on the compound, the younger dudes that was keeping me up to date on the music, And then I heard that, he's wearing a dress, but I never seen his face because I only heard the music on the MP. So I don't know nothing about none of this. And then I see him sitting on the stand fighting for his life, fighting a RICO charge. I said, oh, we dealing with a man here. You know what I mean? So I sat back and I watched it, and I dug the way he sat there. He went every day stellar like a man. And then now it comes out that he was in the interrogation room working with them before all of this began. And let's ride. Just because somebody go in the interrogation room and say something don't make it that they're ratting. Let me just say that for the record, not speaking on his case or anything. I'm not putting no bones nowhere. I'm not saying I agree with what was said in the interrogation room because I could barely hear it in that Young Thug joint. But I'm just playing, so you understand how this go. Just because someone go in the interrogation room don't mean they're telling because they talk to the police. That's not ratting because you talk to the police. The police could ask you, where did the murder take place? Oh, over there on 15th Street. You know what I mean? When the murder really took place on 55th Street. You know what I mean? Which way did he run? Oh, he went over there to the right. Okay, where did you buy that from? You know what I mean? Oh, Myrtle Avenue. You can go anywhere on Myrtle Avenue. You just throw something out there to throw them off the case. That's why Young Thug said, I don't want to mess up y'all case. So in other words, I'm not throwing y'all off to mess up the case because if that's the case, you could have just said, yeah, well, these dudes from out of town, they came in and did it. I know it wasn't him for a fact. These dudes from out of town, they always come from out of town. We all been scared of them. Could have made up anything because we know that's nothing and that go nowhere. But, but they say, oh, you talk to the police. Nah, man. I know people that done had, murder charges and they done had comrades go down there to the police station and give a statement giving somebody else for the description of the murder other than their friend who actually did it that they're down there giving the description for. And then now if that paperwork come up 30 years later, they'll try and condemn that person to say, oh, he went and, told on a murder charge. No, he threw the police off the trail of the murder case. So don't say, oh, you never talk to the police. If they think that you getting the guns from Georgia, you say that you getting it from Minnesota. You don't know nobody out of no Minnesota, but you just throwing them off the trail of where it really go. But nowadays they say, oh, that's ratting. I mean, come on, dog. But I've been up here long enough, man. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. Oh, don't forget, follow my daughter's YouTube channel, man, at Unique Mecca Audio. Unique Mecca Audio. All right. Follow my daughter's YouTube channel. My phone number is right there. If anyone want to speak to me about something I said that is incorrect, call me as a man or as a woman on adult time, and we could talk about it, get it straight, and we work it out, because this channel is not to disrespect anybody. I'm not into none of that, but I got to speak the facts for what it is. You know what I mean? And don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. All right? Is that understood? Gunshots. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Ayo, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never stood until the cops make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. Yui back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, Yui got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.